Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get More Clients. I'm your host, Lynn Whitbeck. Business owners and entrepreneurs hire me to ignite winning sales because most are chasing down leads, lack client retention, conversion, and profit. The mission of this show is to educate, inspire, and motivate women around the world to build a robust sales strategy to get more clients because most can't get more clients and haven't a clue why. You will learn to transform thinking to the client's perspective, eliminate the lengthy, chaotic sales cycle to ignite your sales and unleash lasting profits. We'll also have the opportunity to connect with me further to see how I can support you beyond today. Last week, we learned why client's perspective is your swift success secret. And today, we will explore how to direct your authentic sales to reach motivations and emotions. In this episode, I will show you how to quickly connect with your clients by understanding their motivations and emotional appeal. By the end of today's show, you will know how to understand your client's motivation, how to identify and match your product or service to your client's emotions, position your product or service to fit your client's motivations and emotional desires. Using emotions and motivations in communicating your client why it really enables you to immediately pique their interest and secure their attention. So let's dive right into motivations. Once you understand the client's why, this is all the work that we've been doing on client thinking. What do they want, need, or lack? Why does it matter to them? So they can. So when you understand that client why, you can now match it, and you have matched it to your product or service benefits. We've also gone through those exercises, and you're going to use that client's perspective lens. Now, we did that last week. It's time to identify your client's motivation. And this is really a deeper dive into your ideal client personas, because there's going to be different personas based on their personality coding. And these are buying personas. And a really easy way to think of this is core. So this is something that Jane M. Powers provides core training. My good friend and strategy partner, Leslie Nace, is a certified core coach. Core is C is catalyst, or someone who's high action. O is an optimizer, somebody who likes to blueprint everything out. They want all the details. They need to see the processes. R is a relator, somebody who loves to nurture, who wants community. They want to belong, and they want to know that you're in a good place and a good person. You know, that is very important to them. And then we have E, which is the expert, somebody who has high knowledge. They're really focused on that expertise that you are going to provide. So knowing your personality coding is critical, and we're going to talk about that in future episodes. But this allows you to understand your prospect's motivation and enable you to position your product or service to fit their desires. Motivation is the key reason any of us do anything. Motivation is generated either internally or externally. So let's talk about each of those. Internal motivation is what drives us to make decisions based on our own wants or needs. External motivation is driven by outside factors in our environment. Another factor to really dial into when you're working on your client's motivations is whether you cater to a B2B base or a B2C client audience. There's business to business, where a business is selling specifically to another business. That's our B2B. Or business to consumer, where you're selling to an individual or to a consumer of that product, B2C. They're different types of sales, and they're very different, and they have different types of motivations. the question you want to ask is, how does the problem we solve, the area of concern we address, what matters to them, or the solution we deliver, how does that appeal to our buyer's motivation? Now, let's take a step back. Many of you have probably heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Essentially, it establishes that as long as you have food, shelter, and safety, and that's taken care of, then everything else, such as your social connections, your relationships, and your ultimate self-fulfillment or self-actualization, can be reached. Applying this concept helps us tap into your buyer motivations. All right. So we're taking off some of those basic needs of safety, health, they've got enough food, etc. They've got shelter. Now, there has to be a level of credibility, whether you're selling B2B or B2C. It's the confidence your prospect or client has in you. Then we identify the motivating reason why your prospects want to buy from you. Is it belonging? Is it for prestige from the client's standpoint or perspective? Is it for pleasure? Is it to be affiliated with a company such as yours? So here are the 7 core buyer motivations. Okay, are you ready? Comfort, pleasure, avoidance of pain, profit gain, preventing loss, belonging, cause affiliation, pride, prestige. In general, B2B buyers are motivated by some combination of profit gain, preventing loss, and, maybe surprisingly, cause affiliation. Let me explain. If you have a client who's highly motivated on a corporate level for a specific cause, then that is going to carry through their culture as a motivation. Now, taking a step back, what about B2C? B2C buyers can be motivated by any combination of attributes. So I want to point out, though, that our B2B buyers, they're human beings. So they personally can be motivated by any combination of attributes. All right. So that's just like this. You're going, okay, wait a minute. Where are we at here? So let's explore each of these motivations and how they show up in your client's behavior. Comfort, pleasure. We seek comfort and pleasure to reward ourselves with immediate gratification. According to Freud, so you can buy into this or not, the id operates on the pleasure principle, which is the idea that every wishful impulse should be satisfied immediately, regardless of the consequences. When the id achieves its demands, we experience pleasure. All right, so now avoidance of pain. Avoidance behavior minimizes the feared stimulus or event associated with pain. Avoidance motivation describes those who are largely driven by the desire to avoid distressing problems and undesirable outcomes, right? All right. Profit or gain. Simply, the profit motive suggests that people tend to take actions that will result in their making money, profiting. Research shows that different values are differentially linked to the profit gain motivation. For some, profit or gain motivation focuses on power, money, position, or status. While for other individuals, profit or gain motivation manifests as enjoyment, sheer curiosity, learning, or personal challenge achievement. Now, preventing loss. Loss prevention is the name given to the activities that help provide anticipatory safety measures and risk management for the prevention of accidents, errors, and anything that takes away from your hard-earned profits. So loss prevention, I just have to give you an example because sometimes it's hard to grasp this. That's why you buy insurance. It's that loss so that if there's a theft, if your house burns, if your partner passes, you have insurance to help cover that occurrence. All right. So it's loss prevention. And in a business, not only, of course, do you buy business insurance, but loss prevention goes into effect for many different reasons, which is why as soon as you get to be a very large business, you have risk management departments because they're trying to prevent that loss. All right, let's move on to belonging. Now, this is also tied to human emotions and that nurture, but our need to belong as a human is what drives us to seek out stable, long-lasting relationships with other people. It also motivates us to participate in social activities such as clubs, sports teams, religious groups, and community organizations. What about cause affiliation? Many people yearn to have a cause that motivates them, something that helps them find a deeper spiritual connection to the world around them. It really doesn't matter whether we give of our money, our time, or both. The notion is that in the process, we are all better off, right? So that's that cause affiliation. Pride, prestige. Pride can motivate people to strive for success and act with compassion because it forces us to consider others' viewpoints and opinions as well as our own. Additional research has found that an internal sense of pride, feeling proud of something, regardless what others think, also has benefits. Prestige motivation is defined, as the desire for voluntary deference obtained from others' admiration and respect, particularly for one's valued skills and knowledge. So these 7 core buyer motivations that we've just gone through, the point is for all of this is for you to captivate your clients, and you must frame your answer to their why with their underlying motivation. When you're appealing to your client's motivation, you want to answer the problem you solve, and you want to identify the motivation or motivations, and then ask, does that motivation have an emotional appeal? All right, now we're going to segue into emotions. All right, let's take a look. Sorry, I was just looking down to see where we're at with the timing. By tapping into the emotions of your clients, you can make sure that you and your organization, your company, that you stand out. Harnessing a single emotion like happiness, sadness, anger, or fear helps your prospects notice, remember, and buy your products or service. We're human beings. People feel. We can't help but experience emotions. No matter how buttoned down someone is, I can guarantee you those emotions are there and they're churning inside. So let's take time right now to explore the top 10 common and effective emotional triggers. And as we go through these, I want you to, come on, lean in. Think about when you have seen, heard, or read a sales or marketing material and how that made you feel and how those feelings affected your own buying decisions. Fear. So this is used in a wide variety of settings. And I sort of alluded to it already earlier. So here's the example. Don't get caught with too little insurance, right? Okay, guilt. Oh, yeah. But people are easily affected by messages that trigger guilt. So an example is a nonprofit. Don't let them suffer. And we've all seen those, the commercials where the animals are suffering and it's like, oh my, I feel so bad. Oh, So moving on, number 3, These are our top 10 triggers for emotional triggers. Belonging. So this is also a motivation. This is so powerful. You want to feel like you belong. Human nature drives our desires to feel part of a group. An example of this is you are part of the family. You're part of our community. You're joining a community. All right, trust. Crafting statements and content that evoke feelings of trust. So here's the example: no hidden fees or lifetime access. So now here's a kicker about trust. If you use the word trust too early in your copy, when a buyer persona, someone who's an optimizer, who likes to plan everything out, who's looking at those systems and processes, they're going to be turned off by that because they don't know you and they don't trust you. You haven't earned their trust yet. So don't use the word trust specifically, certainly not early in your content or early on a sales page or an email, because trust has to be earned for that specific buyer persona. But there are other ways to evoke those feelings of trust and lean into it. All right, we're at 5, value. Yes, getting a good deal. So here's the example. If you can find a better price, we'll match it. You see that all the time these days. Number 6, competition. The desire to feel equal to or better than your peers. Think of the old adage, keeping up with the Joneses. Here's an example. Make them drool. 7, lucky 7 is trend setting. You want to feel cool or trendy. And this goes with the example of all the cool kids are doing it. Number 8 is leadership. You feel like you are first or in control. So an example would be to be the first on your block. Number 9 is instant gratification. Cater to a sense of urgency. Clients and prospects have become hardwired, honestly, hardwired to expect instant gratification. Honestly, you just like, if you click through to a link and it's churning to get there, it's like, what? So here's an example, and it can say like within 24 hours, you're going to receive a response, you're going to receive your package. So that's where that Amazon Prime comes in, although it's 2 days. Number 10 is time. We are all busier than ever. And many people desire more free time to pursue personal interests, spend time with family, and so on. So here's an example. Cut the time it takes to vacuum your home in half. Or don't do it at all with the little, vacuum robot, right? You don't even have to do this anymore. Just turn the robot on and let them do it. These are the top 10 emotional triggers. However, there are many more emotional triggers that evoke feelings among your target audience that will move them to action. Sorry about that. I've still got this tickle in my throat. So if you got your pen or pencil handy, your iPad handy, your notes on your mobile device, let's do this exercise. So this is what you're going to ask. Does your buyer motivation have an emotional appeal? So I'm going to preface it that you've already identified your buyer motivation. All right. So you've already gone through your client thinking exercise, and then you've looked at those buyer motivations. If that's a yes, which we're human beings, and trust me, there's going to be a heck yes, which emotions? So then identify those emotions, and how can you incorporate emotional triggers into your sales? So here you go. You're going to identify your client desired outcome. Then you're going to basically debit that perceived benefit. And then you're going to say, now I'm going to add in emotions. So this is literally like an equation. Okay. Your client desired outcome. And then what's the perceived benefit? That's that minus sign. Now you're going to plus the emotions. Now, there's a reason that you're doing it this way is because you're focusing on that desired outcome, but you're going to, instead of focusing on the perceived benefit, instead you're looking at what are the emotions that are connected with that desired outcome. So hopefully that makes sense. So now, what about tone? The tone of your content, the information that you're putting out there, whether via video, Facebook Live, whether you're writing a blog post or sending out an email campaign or a social media campaign or an ad, how are you going to communicate that emotion in the tone? And then language, how are you going to use your words and the language to evoke an emotional response? Finally, visual. And I know you've all heard, a picture is worth 1,000 words. According to Wikipedia, this is an adage in multiple languages, meaning that complex and sometimes multiple ideas can be conveyed by a single still image, which conveys its meaning or essence more effectively than a verbal description. Scientists believe that the brain is able to process images approximately 60,000 times more quickly, all right? 60,000 times more quickly than it processes a similar amount of written information. So there you go. An image, a picture, 1,000 words, right? So diving into ongoing research, some indicates images are more likely to be remembered than words because our brains actually duly code images, but they encode words only once. So the bottom line is people feel. We can't help but experience emotions. So as you go through that exercise, remember, this is where we're going to be starting. We're going to start with the client why. All right, what do they want, need, or lack? Why is it important to them? So they can. Okay. And there's a lot more in depth on this and the client thinking episodes. Now, we're going to reverse engineer that for our product or service and how that fits with the client or thinking. We're getting out of our own way because we want to come at this from the client's perspective. And how do we frame our product or service where it connects and makes sense to them so that we can create that spark quickly and easily, and then move to a connection and then to a conversion. All right. The next step, of course, is to identify your ideal client avatar. Now, I've got a whole bunch of episodes on this, but as you're going through the client ideal avatar, once you're done with that exercise, you're going to go back to your client thinking exercise from your client's perspective and make sure you've nailed it. Because going through the client avatar exercise will help you then go back and refine your client thinking. So this is an iterative process. You're going to go through this. And we live in a rapidly changing times. You're going to want to revisit this on a regular basis and for new products or services that you launch. All right. So now we're going to refine our client thinking and then how we're matching up our product or services to that client thinking to matching with the client avatar. And now we've got all this terrific work. Now we're going to go after motivations and emotions, because those motivations and emotions are really what drives people to make a decision. It moves them from that attraction that grabs their attention to making the connection to converting. So you want to help your prospects and decide with their hearts and minds and boost sales. Using emotions and motivations in communicating your client why enables you to immediately pique their interest and secure their attention. It's an effective way to break down barriers, to attract and connect with your prospective clients. Wow, I hope you enjoyed this and thank you so much for tuning in. My purpose is for you to get more clients. Bottom line, don't make this harder than it has to be. Sales should be a win-win. And on behalf of the Win-Win Women Network, I have carved out a limited number of time slots to invite you to hop on and ignite your sales call with me to see what's working, not working, and what you would love to have working. What would you love to have working? I'm going to see how I might further support you in effectively generating more leads, converting more sales, and fulfilling on your promise as a brand and organization. The fastest way to success is to assure people know that they matter. And the best way to make this happen is to build a consistent sales strategy to acquire, convert, and capitalize on every lead. You will find growing your business is easy and lucrative. Today, I shared how to direct your authentic sales to reach motivations and emotions. The key is for you to implement these steps to stop wasting time, energy, and resources. You have the opportunity to jump in and get the support you need for true success. Say yes to you and get on a call with me. I am really, truly gifted at this, and you deserve a shortcut to your success with the right support. You can go to pdq.link/win-win. That's pdq.link/win-win. That's in our show notes, so I am one click away. You can also connect with me on our website at petitetoqueen.com. And to stay current on all our insightful advice, our breakthrough advantages, and never miss an episode of Get More Clients, you can sign up for our weekly wisdoms at petitetoqueen.com. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, we are launching our brand new Get More Clients programs. We have 5 programs that are designed to help you move forward, to break through and get the sales and those wonderful, ideal dream clients that you want, so that you can create more impact with those clients, with their business, with their community, and let that impact roll out as a wave. All right, I am so excited about our programs. They are secrets, roadmap, strategy, accelerator, and exclusive. You can check them out at petitetoqueen.com. I'd love to have you come and join our community and get the results that you want and that you need right away. Next week on Get More Clients, I will share step up your sales process with easy and effective outreach. I will see you next week on Get More Clients.